What if one platform covered everything from idea to market-ready product? A platform teaching all the AI tech and practices needed for successful AI-driven startups.
This is like AI imagination.
We found that the more specific we are,
is we used a classifier, we trained the classifier.
I really wanted it to just be more open-ended for the user.
We were experimenting with different chunk sizes,
having some problems to something.
By blending cutting-edge technologies from industry giants, you can create revolutionary AI products that drive innovation forward.
This was a special hack, it was a battle.
Let the hacking begin.
Hi everyone, I'm Roxana and I'm here with Sujanya and Paul's Irbins. So Sujanya and I are from the lablab Next Accelerator, a program that takes your AI tech startup to the next level by pairing you with expert mentors. We are continuing to build this community of startups and mentors, and today we have a special guest from our previous cohort to talk about some opportunities and experiences that the program provided to him. So Pauls. Hi, Pauls.
Hi, guys. Can you see me, hear me?
Yes, we can see you, we can hear you. So Paul's Irbins is CEO and founder of Orbit 8. It is an AI platform that takes person's skills, interests, and matches them with their ambitions to create an personalized approach to their professional development, essentially helping people find their dream careers. So Pulse, super nice to have you here today. I can actually pass the mic on to Sujanya, who has a first question for you.
Hi, Pauls. How has it been going post the cohort? Maybe you should start from there.
Yes, so congratulations to everyone who is joining lablab AI. For our startup, this was a really great experience meeting fantastic mentors who are actually interested in what you're doing and who are actually helping you. There's really a bunch of them, so anyone can choose the best mentor. Talk if you don't like, you choose next one, you talk, and you really can find and get the support that you need for your startup at whatever stage you are right now. So this was a really amazing experience, and we've had a chance to be part of several accelerator programs through our more than year and a half experience in building Orbit 8, and this has been the best we've had. So thank you everyone who's been, to all the team of lablab AI who's been helping us. So I encourage everyone to get best out of it.
Wow. Yeah, we needn't even explain what we do at lablab Next, do we, Roxana? Yeah. So I heard from Roxana that you had a very interesting event at San Francisco and you were all excited about it, and we wanted to hear it from you. What happened there?
Yes, so I had a chance to spend a week in Silicon Valley. I was on a delegation of other startups who went there on let's say scouting mission to understand potential business for our startups. It's been a really intensive experience. I would say there are several important, let's say, mind-changing insights that I got for myself that in a way changed the way I look at startups and businesses, and maybe I can quickly share them if that's okay.
Yes, definitely. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe one thing, there are two let's say big things. One is one bigger thing is about, let's say, some general insights on the culture in Silicon Valley, and the second one is more, let's say, practical, how to get yourself ready. if you look at this first, let's say, general level, that one thing that really struck me, the first thing that struck me was just the amount of money you have there. And one number I remember was there's something like $320 billion waiting to be invested. So it's money, it's still not invested. So the amount of money for investments, it's huge there. And California is just, as a single state, is the 5th largest economy in the world. So it's really massive. But the other side of that is, of course, that there's a huge competition. You are maybe best of the best in your environment, but the competition there is for the best of the best of the best. So and if you are not connected with other investors, with people in California, then you are just on the very bottom of the, let's say, food chain. Let's call it like that. So the competition is really there, and for that you need a really competitive mindset. And this is maybe another takeaway that I took for myself. If you want to go global, and if you have an ambition to be global, you definitely should be competitive enough for California, for Silicon Valley, because of the competition, because of the mindset. And the mindset there is something maybe different that we see in Europe and other parts of the world. It's all focused that you have to go out and you have to sell. And if you're not selling, then you should be networking and finding all the possibilities. How can you sell? So whatever, if you're not selling right now, then you should be finding right people through who you should sell. And on top of that, if you're not networking and you're not selling, you should be able to learn really quick. You should be able to listen to people that you meet, people that you're working with. So, and it's very intense. It's way different than we here in Europe. Nobody is waiting for you there. You have to go out. You have to kick the doors. You have to kick the windows. And if they're not letting you in through the window, you find some other ways. So these are maybe the bigger insights. So it's very much about how really dedicated you are to being a world company, not just for your local region. And the more practical insights might be that to go there, to get something out of there, you need to prepare a lot. I started my preparation for a visit to Silicon Valley 2 months before the trip. And,
Wow.
and I started with finding, sorry, can you hear me?
That's impressive. 2 months. Yeah, 2 months before the trip. That's an impressive amount of prep time for a trip. So what were you looking for? What did you need to collect?
So I was looking primarily for possible investors, talking to investors for my Instagram, of course, looking for customers. So I could
Oh,
full
Pulse.
store so that if you have, yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, when you
I'm
were just
breaking
speaking,
up.
it cut. Yeah, it was breaking off. Yeah. Could you just start over with the answer,
Yeah,
please?
sorry, I'm driving, so I'm on the road. So for me, the objective was to find and talk to investors and just to get first connections, and then through them to get additional connections. And the other target was to find first customers, or at least users, for our software solution, so that I would be able to claim to the investor that we already have some foot in the door, or have some customers there. So it takes a lot of preparation. I'm very happy I had mentors from New Native or LabLab AI who suggested me with people to pick. So it takes a lot of effort and time to actually find somebody who's ready to meet for. And the other practical aspect, you have to be able to be very flexible technically in Silicon Valley. And the solution for that, when you're going there, you need a car. Very practical, because you're basically traveling between San Francisco and Silicon Valley all the time. So if you're lucky and you can have 2-3 meetings per day, most of the day you still spend driving. And if you would use public transportation, you would never get around as quickly as possible. So, and then in terms of actually organizing the visits, you need at least twice as many meetings pre-agreed before you're going there, because many of them would have, oh, I'm too busy, so I have some other more important plans. So you have to be able to switch between and let's say prioritize. Okay, this one canceled my meeting, so you have someone else next on the list. So it's a lot of management, and if you're weak there, and if you're planning to meet 20 people, you need 40 people on your list. So it's really challenging, and that's why you need to start doing it at least 2 months before that. That's a quick insight.
Well, I spent, I was living in North America and Canada before I moved to Sweden. So this whole situation with public transit versus cars is a very familiar problem for me. It's very difficult to get around anywhere without a car. The public transit is just not that efficient. It's just the space is so big. It's just so much distance to travel. Yeah.
Yeah. And Paul's, because your product focuses around edtech, did you see like what kind of challenges that you would say were very unique for the industry or like the domain that your product is under that you think was like
Yeah,
a great learning?
yes. It's not just about edtech. The big thing is that, as I mentioned earlier, it's the competition is very fierce. And if you're a regular billionaire in California, then you would mostly invest in deep tech technologies that are very difficult to copy, that has a very, let's say, big impact. And if you're just a poor millionaire, then you are investing in VC funds, and they're also very picky. What the biggest trend that I'm seeing, and what I've saw, that nobody is willing to invest in businesses that have, like, say, immediate return. Everyone is looking on solutions that have a longer impact, bigger impact, and that's why there's so much money now not being invested, because the logic is very clear. If you have a business that is easy to start making money right away, that means the entry barrier is very small to anyone. So if you are having a revenue right away, that's good for you, but that means there will be maybe 10, 20 more companies like you in a very short period of time. So the general trend is investing in solutions that have a global impact, that are very difficult to copy, to replicate, and that are basically going into new markets, new segments. The big billionaire investors, they're putting all their money in ChatGPT or other large language model solutions. The rest, they are looking for very unique, very ambitious ideas. So that's probably the biggest thing I've learned for myself.
Wow. So when you left, you and I had like some brief communications about the network and how you had built it up there. So I felt that you had been quite successful and productive with your process there. So if it's not a secret, do you want to mention some of the interactions that you brought back with you and you are developing now? So, for example, companies or institutes that are adopting Orbit 8?
Yes. So one sneaky solution I found in California for promoting businesses that are focusing on some bigger impact. Non-profit organizations, even non-profit organizations, they are.
Oh, sorry, Paul. So it cut off again.
Yeah, or one with non-profits. Non-profits are funded by, yeah. I'm in the middle of nowhere currently, so I don't know.
It's okay, but you said that the sneaky solution was to target nonprofits for you. Oh.
Yes, so I just turned off my camera so that I'm a bit ready better. So yes, one of my suggestions is talking to nonprofits, so that because they have a lot of networking, and maybe you provide your solution or service to non-profit organizations for free, and that gives you an exposure and publicity that is very needed to step out of the bigger crowd. The other segment that I was lucky to get connected with are the local politicians. Namely, I met senator from state of California, and we started talking about education and other, let's say, bigger issues. And you always have to talk about bigger issues first before actually talking to about your own product. And that opened for me several doors that I will be exploiting definitely. And lastly, it's important to approach as many investors as possible. They might not give you they might not be open for you because, again, the competition is fierce, and if you're not studying there, if you're not grounded in California, and nobody would take you serious. But if you start with 1-2 investors, and even if they say you're not good for them, you could still ask connections with other investors, maybe lower level investors, and that's how you move forward. So from one person to another. So again, it's networking and networking and networking.
That makes sense.
Okay, so what's next for Orbit 8, Pauls? Give us more fun, exciting news that you are looking forward to.
One thing for sure, we are when we would finish the pre-seed round that we're starting next month and hopefully completed by the end of the year, we have plans to establish a company in the United States. Some of investors we're talking with said that the only condition they would invest if we have a business going in the United States, and we see the reason for that because the United States is a very picky market, very demanding market. So if you can launch your product in the United States, then you can launch it anywhere. But that's not the only, of course, solution that's for us. So we would definitely be establishing a company in the United States. We have made some great connections with people who've been working for companies like Zoom, and they are interested to promote our solution to schools, universities, and companies in California. On top of that, using our, let's say, connections that we already established ourselves. So our goal is primarily to focus on sales. So that's where we're going, and one thing, of course, we learned that when you can start selling without actually your product being perfect, that is okay, but you need something, and you should be able and ready that your product will change almost every month, as some of our mentors from California said. Be sure that your product needs to be ready for small and minor improvements every week, not every month or every half a month, every week. You need to collect customer feedbacks and improve.
That's incredible. That's a very high pace. So on that note, what would be your top advice for our upcoming cohort and lablab next participants?
First of all, with lablab AI, I think you have to be very ambitious, and you have to dream big, but you also have to be able to change the mindset of dreaming big is not enough if you don't act on that. And one thing I've learned from Silicon Valley, the mindset in the United States for going for your dreams is different than in Europe, and you have to work harder than normally. You need to have a very strong team. 2-3 people of really dedicated people is must have. And last thing, I've mentioned it earlier in the beginning, use the mentors. lablab has amazing mentors, and the whole program is dedicated to push you forward. So if they're pushing you, let them push you and work your asses off to go further than anyone else.
Communicating that to our upcoming cohort. Move your asses to go further. Well, that was that was actually my last question. So we have about a minute left of the stream. So maybe it's nice to wrap it up. So thank you so much, Pulse, for joining us today, for sharing your thoughts, your insights. Best of luck to you with exploiting all of your connections, networks, and experiences, and taking Orbit 8 to the next level. I am very looking forward to seeing how it
To the
grows,
next
develops,
orbit.
and
The next orbit.
the next, yes.
Next orbit.
Very excited to see how it develops, how it grows, and definitely, I feel that you will definitely come out on top. So, Sylvia, do you want to say
Thank you,
anything
Juan.
before we sign up?
I'm super excited for you, Pauls, and I do see all your posts where you're like doing such amazing things. We are always rooting for you.
Thank you, guys. Let's keep in touch.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye,
Cheers.
everyone.
Bye.